Hello, I'm Rebecca Flaherty, and this week is the final summer holiday pattern from this collection here. I'm going to be making this one here. This week we'll be using everything we've learned to make this pattern using one or two of each of the motifs. You can find tutorials for all of these patterns over on my YouTube channel page in a summer patterns playlist. If you've not watched any of those yet, I recommend starting with those before you tackle this pattern. We'll be making all of the motifs using this stamp brush set here, which you can get from the Pattern Maker's Toolkit over on my website. It's got all of the motifs in there for you to trace over to help you get off to a quick start. The Pattern Maker's Toolkit is free to join, and I'll put a link for that in the description. For this last final pattern, I'm just going to film it as a time lapse rather than repeat myself telling you how to do all the illustration and colouring all over again. And as I said, if this is the first video in this series you're watching and you want more detailed instructions on how to do the illustration, then go back and check out those other videos first. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy the time lapse. So I'm going to start working in my Draw Here First layer, and I'm just going to add in all the motifs and then arrange them around the canvas. And as I said, if you want more detailed step-by-step instructions, check out any of the other videos from this series. So now I'm going to merge all of these down onto one layer and merge them with the sketch diamond, and then I'm going to use snapping to snap them into the corners. And now I'm going to illustrate all of these in the pattern group using the illustration techniques we've looked at in all the other videos. And there we go, that is now a finished pattern tile. Using this diamond repeat will mean that you get no gaps visible when you upload to Spoonflower, but before we save and export, it's always good to do a quick test here in Procreate. So I'll turn my texture layer back on, swipe down with 3 fingers to copy all, come up to the top here and then swipe down again and paste. Then I'm going to add a layer underneath this and make it a really dark colour so that if there's any gaps they will show through with that dark colour underneath. So now I'm going to tap to transform this layer and I'm going to snap it up here into this top corner until that says 1800 pixels there. Then we can duplicate and snap that over here. Have a quick zoom in and make sure that there's nothing suspicious on that line, and that's looking okay. So we can pinch those together, duplicate this layer and then drag it down to the middle there. And again, zoom in and just make sure that looks okay. So that's tiling nicely. And that is now our finished pattern tile. Don't forget you can get the stamp brushes when you join the Pattern Makers Toolkit. It's kind of like a Patreon group, except it's free to join. You'll get access to all the resources in the Pattern Makers Toolkit on my website, including those I make for my Skillshare classes, early access to some of my YouTube tutorials and drawing prompts, discounts in my Etsy store, and 1 new freebie exclusively via email every month. And as I said, if you want more detailed instructions on how to illustrate all of these motifs, there's individual tutorials for each one of these patterns over on my YouTube channel. That's all from me this week, and don't forget to subscribe here if you want to see more pattern tutorials like this every Wednesday. Have fun, stay creative, and I will see you next time.